Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Code Realize Future Blessings in the last part of Finis's route, probably, because we are going to choose the answer that is going to get us down the normal ending, where I'm sure Finis dies and whatever, sad. And then maybe we both die, who knows? And then what we'll do is then go back and finish off the good ending, because we've been going down the good path, obviously. So, as you know, in the last part, we kind of just got to this point on the good path, stopped, went back, skimmed through everything that we missed for the normal, and we're about to finish on the normal. So, okay, I was like, I couldn't hear the sound for a second. So, for the normal ending, we're supposed to choose what of the outside. Even so, okay, I move my dry lips and force out a hoarse voice. What's happening out there? You finally speak, and that's what you ask? Well, fine, I suppose. Shrugging his shoulders as if bored, Finis begins to tell me, as if imparting gifts to take with me to the afterlife. Your beloved Londoners have scraped together ships and are presently launching an attack against the Nautilus. To no one's surprise, they seem to be struggling, but, well, no need for you to worry about that. Because we've finally reached our time limit. As if activated by those words, the poisonous, death-bringing gem reacts. Even I could tell. The pulsation that seeks to destroy my very existence is stronger than ever before. This very moment is the final stage of my evolution into a true monster. A scream that I thought myself no longer capable of is forced out of me. The agony, the heat. I can't breathe. Writhing in extreme distress, I desperately try to endure the pain. But that resistance proves entirely futile. Faced with the overwhelming power, my consciousness gradually melts away. There's no need to be afraid, sister. We will soon be loved. No. I want to shout it. That Finis would never be loved by that man, Isaac. But all that comes out of my mouth are cries of agony. Soon, the pigment of my hair begins to fade away as the toxin overflows from my body, like we saw in Lupin's path. Scared. Scared to be reduced to a true monster. I'm not sure why her hair loses pigmentation, but sure. And even more than that, scared that I'll kill countless people. And now she has two-color eyes, just like Finis. Interesting. Someone help! Someone kill me while I can still be myself. Ah! The time of awakening is at hand. Hearing sister's cries, Father has finally descended. As if to welcome an esteemed guest, Finis spreads his arm towards the sphere. His expression is one of joy and ecstasy. Ah, Father is coming. Finally, Father smiled at me. Finally, I will be praised. I'll be loved by Father. After that final shout, the world calms. The pain begins to subside as if it had never been there, and I fell to the floor as the steel tendrils release me. In this world filled with silence, words from Finis, who stand before me, resounds first. But the voice I heard was no longer his. And this is the same picture we got in the original game. Isaac taking over his body. At last, this day has come. The day I've been waiting for so long. I've missed you, Spacey. My dear daughter. Father? That's right. It's me, Isaac Beckford himself. Isaac Beckford, past. A kind-hearted young scientist driven to curse the unjust world that claimed the lives of his family. He pursued forbidden research in order to bring back his beloved family, and now he's a crazy motherfucker. I'm your father, Spacey. Now allow me to get a closer look at your face, and let me hear your voice. matter how sweet and gentle that voice may sound, it didn't make it sound that way, I can't help but feel a sense of disgust from it. Glaring at him from behind my white hair, I force out my words. Before you speak to me, don't you have anything to say to Finis? He's been going along with this ridiculous plan for the sake of your praise. Going along with this code realize. Imagine a spoon scooping something up. Is there someone who would praise the spoon every time? Aw, thanks, Spoon. Thanks for being nice. I appreciate you, Spoon. I will now, because I feel guilty. Dickhole, making me feel guilty about not praising spoons. What? Is there someone who would praise a typewriter for each letter hammered? What do you mean? A tool fulfills its duty, as it was meant to. That doll's actions were much the same to me. No! We might just be dolls to you, but Finis and I are undeniably alive. The emotions that spilled out can no longer be held back. We laugh, get mad, and we have a desire in our chest to be loved, just like a person. This absurdity, this feeling that won't get through to him, I turn it into anger and brandish my words. You're the one who isn't human. You're a monster who was born a person and cast away his human heart. Compared to someone like you, Finis and I who were born as things are far more human. How ironic. The monster that holds a deadly poison, capable of annihilating myriad organisms, lecturing me on the meaning of humanity. A chill runs down my spine. It's right. It's like I heard before. Once the awakening completes and I become the Philosopher's Stone, releasing the toxins, London will... But as if to reassure me, Father makes a subtle smile. There's no need to get flustered. It's true that if your poison is spread, scant London would be easily destroyed, but the main body absorbs some degree of the toxins that you release. So as long as you remain here, the outside world is safe. And if you allow me to continue... The steel wires quiver and move from the sphere, coiling around my body once more. Looking up at me while I dangle there helpless, Father's lips bend as if he's enjoying himself. You will now be absorbed by me, and you will become my eternal heart that supplies me with limitless energy. So you need not worry about your poison. Come, my dear daughter. Ripples gleefully spread across the armillary sphere as it begins to fill my vision. Suddenly... And then she swallowed, and Lupin calms. Okay, we've done this. I'm slowly swallowed into the pulsating sphere. The liquid that envelops me fills me with a rather nostalgic warmth, and my consciousness begins to sink deep to the bottom. I hope we don't have to go through the whole entire ending of the original game. I hope they didn't just hey, let's just put the original... Because that would kind of suck, because we've already done that. And, having to read through the whole thing again. I mean, I get that it's going to kind of be the same, Lupin's going to come rescue us, Finis is going to die, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think they need to do it quite as long. That's all I'm saying. Love. A mere doll. How laughable. Isaac laughs, glancing at Spacey, who's now absorbed in the sphere. Splendid. The Spacey made from biocatalyst will soon cease to be, and only the bare Philosopher's Stone will remain. With its infinite energy, not even idea will be worthy of my fear. And then, by progressing my research within its power as a base, I'll restore my true family, unlike those imitations. I'm almost there, Rebecca. Soon I'll be able to meet with the real you. Rebecca, Isaac's wife. She is also the mother of Finis and the heroine. Isaac stares at the sphere as if he can hardly wait. His thought process is broken by the unpleasant sound of noisy footsteps. Oh! At last you are restored, at last! My master, Professor Isaac! Your #1 apprentice, Nemo! I've been waiting eagerly for this moment! It's a pleasure to meet you, modern Prometheus Isaac Beckford. I am Jimmy A. Alistair, although I doubt you have need of introductions. Nemo and Alistair. What are you two doing here? I thought I entrusted you to intercept the British armed forces. Wah! Fear not! This creation of mine, the Nautilus, is invincible, unsinkable, Unthinkable! Oh, iceberg right ahead. Now you're going down, bitch. It's not so poorly constructed that it would be brought down by those nets. Yeah, they thought the same thing about... Oh, well, that hasn't been invented yet, but... So, okay, so... What we're to assume is the Titanic was like, it's unsinkable! And you're like, you know what happened to the Nautilus, right? I'm just saying. Like... Ergo, in order to celebrate your revival, I, Nemo, have hastened to be the first to lay eyes upon you. And Alistair's just like, can I kill him now? Yes, yes, Professor Isaac. See how far your favorite apprentice has come. I, Nemo, began designing this Nautilus based on your theories and... I could not care less. What? Narrowing his eyes, Isaac cuts off Nemo's impassioned speech. His eyes were far colder than when he looked at Finis. Then, how about the troubles I went through conducting a theoretical analysis of the gravity alleviator? Hardly necessary. You two intercept the fleets. The British soldiers are harmless, but do not let Idea get close to us. What is wrong, Professor? Have you forgotten about me? A day when those plebeians ridiculed me as impractical, you came up and told me that my theory was splendid. Can you not follow simple orders? It's something even an inept doll could do. Let's go, Nemo. But wait! One moment! There are still so many things to tell the Professor! Alistair grabs the shocked Nemo by the arm and begins to walk, dragging him away. Showing no interest at the two who disappear, Isaac brings his gaze back to the armillary sphere. My wish is finally within my grasp. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. I can hardly wait for the moment that draws closer with each passing second. Even the sounds of explosions from afar are of a beautiful tone that resemble the prelude to Genesis. Oh, resemble. So close. Just a bit more. The ultimate goal of alchemy, the philosopher's stone. Illuminate the future. There's no future for you, Isaac Beckford. I'm assuming it's Lupin, because that's... Isaac's thoughts are torn asunder by the unexpected voice. Oh, no, There's no future for you, Isaac Beckford. Sorry. You, who only sees a bygone past, are blind to the future. Idea's apostle. The useless lot allowed an invasion after all. Glaring at the one who was supposed to have plummeted to the ground, Isaac begins to speak, his hatred overt. Like, does he not fucking understand how they work? Like, I killed you! Yeah, I'm immortal, fucker. Jesus. You are the ones who can only see the past, Idea. A mad organization that follows the predictions of an old woman and purges under the pretense of correcting history. The innovators, the geniuses who transcend humanity. How many of them have you killed in the name of justice? You who reap the pioneers are the enemies that interfere with the future, the advancement of humanity. We only reap those who would distort the human world. If we let them be, they would only create more sad children in this world. Someone like you, Isaac. Self-righteousness. Oh, self-righteousness. All of it. Come out, damn you dolls. Responding to Isaac's call, the Finises appear one after another. Like, how many did he fucking make? But none of them were Finis any longer, only taking on the appearance, drones under the command of Isaac. They don't even have the consciousness. They're no different than zombies. Ironic coming from the one belonging to a supposedly immortal organization like Idea. I'll tear you limb from limb so you'll never regenerate. Attack! With eerily perfect synced movements, they rain bullets down on Hansel. Hansel makes a tremendous jump, dodging them, and begins to strike at Isaac. But even the fork's quick strike that cuts through the wind itself is blocked by one of the countless Finises like a human shield. What's wrong, Idea? It'll take more than that to reach me. Right. I know, Gretel. The best we can do is to continue devouring evil. For Mother, and for all the unfortunate children. We will devour it all. He's so weird. I like him. He's a little cry-cry. I kind of feel like all of the people in IDI are a little cray-cray. I mean, obviously. The sound of rushing footsteps echo throughout the cold metal hallway. Damn it. I had a hunch, but to strap someone to a cannonball and fire them out of a cannon, that imp dolt has got to rival Nemo in terms of stupidity. I landed, or something along those lines. I grimace as I recall the shock of the impact. Arriving at the Nautilus with the help of Lupin's crew, I run down the hallway, heading toward the ship's deepest area. It's just as I'd envisioned up to this point. I've passed several Twilight soldiers by now, but no one has so much as questioned me. Alistair and Nemo should be in the engine room, managing the Nautilus about now. So as long as I can avoid Finis, it should be a clear shot to the main body. Oh? It's you, Finis. Why the hurry? Are there any new developments from the British Armed Forces? Alistair and Nemo. Why are you two here? Aren't you supposed to be in the engine room? I try not to show my irritation, and Alistair makes a bitter laugh, shrugging his shoulders. Indeed, Isaac just said as much as well. But as you can see, our essential scientist is feeling a little down. He'll barely even budge. Professor Isaac! Why doesn't my passion get through to you? I was supposed to have a nice chat about science to my heart's content after he revived. Boo! Boo-hoo! Well, what in the world is... Oh, wait. I thought he was going to say, what in the world is this depressing feeling, and then I realized that was Finis. What in the world is this depressing display? His shoulders slouched, and holding his knee, Nemo traces meaningless letters on the floor with his fingers. Well, that's the least of my worries. From what they just told me, I can't help but grimace inwardly. If they were ordered by Isaac, that must mean Father is already awakened. And that means his sister is... Alistair, I'll leave this in your hands. I'm in a hurry, so let me pass. Without hesitation, I pass between the two. And then suddenly, Alistair's hand reaches out silently and grasps my shoulder. Wait right there. You're not the usual Finis, are you? What makes you say that? Who else do I look like if not Finis? You may be Finis in the flesh, true, but there are signs of treatment to your body, unusual to see from the one who considers himself expendable. Do you suspect me? What, do you think I'm Lupin in disguise? The cold sweat breaks as I nonchalantly search for the gun in my pocket. Looks like I have no choice but to use it. I don't know if I can win against Alistair, but I'm running out of time to save Sister. I'll have to catch him by surprise then. I'll have you know that a surprise attack that the opponent is anticipating is hardly a surprise attack at all. What? Gah! You'd be wise to stay still. Were you planning to kill us? You're an odd one. You're strangely human. That's not like Finis at all. I've had a bit more life experience than the other Finises. Now that I think about it, I recognize that handkerchief wrapped around your hand. I also heard about a Finis that had his connection severed and was dropped to the surface along with an ideas apostle. Hearing it from someone else really makes me realize my own position. So, why has the little discarded doll come all the way here? This is the critical moment. I breathe in deeply and speak from the bottom of my heart. The reason I came here was to meet with Sister once more and to put a stop to Code Realize. The plan Isaac Beckford is advancing. What? What? You intend to impede Professor's progress? I could sense Nemo jumping up from outside my field of view. I swallow my breath, feeling a cold sweat trickle from the blade before my eye. Oh, do you mean to suggest that you wouldn't mind being killed by Nemo and me like this? I won't let you get in Professor's way. I must be useful to him from now on. Even if Professor doesn't see it now, I'm sure he'll approve of my work one day if I continue being useful to him. Don't count on it, Nemo. The only thing that man can see is the past long gone. Even if you, or I, follow his every command, we'll never reach his heart. My heart aches sharply as if it's trying to tell me something. Whatever the case, it makes no difference. We must stop you. Defeat us if you're unsatisfied. Otherwise, wealth, status, things. Can you present us with anything that might sway us to betray Isaac and join you? Or present a certain something that I may have interest in? Oh, Alistair, saying such things even when you're fully aware of my situation. You really do have a rotten personality. My lips twist as I meet Alistair's gaze. He seems to be enjoying this. Wealth, status, things. I don't have any of those. I no longer hold the position of Twilight Leader, nor do I have the honor of being Father's vessel. I, who was abandoned, have nothing. If there's anything left, then it's only this body, this heart. And so I... Please, I'm begging you. What? Please let me through. Please, lend me your strength. I force out the words. What? Do you even realize what you're saying? Yes, I do. I'm going to help Sister, so I need you two to let me through. And if at all possible, I need you to help stop the Nautilus. Nemo points his confused glance at Alistair as if to gauge his opinion. And then, the elderly Twilight Soldier's eyes go wide, and his shoulders tremble as if he can no longer hold it in. Is he laughing at us? Yeah. Alistair, what might you be laughing about so suddenly? How can this not be a laughing matter? Pinned to the floor, a blade thrust before him, yet still having the gall to ask for a favor. To top it off, to think that Finis, pride personified, would beg for our mercy. Say whatever you like. If you must look down on me, then look down on me. Not only was I thrown away by Father, my life was saved by Lupin and the others whom I hated. I have no pride left. Look down? Hardly. This is the first time I've ever held an interest in you. The doll who was discarded by the only one he depended on, returning here after meditating on his solitude. What will you find at the end of that solitude? It brings me great interest. Alistair laughs for some time, and then he speaks once more. Haha, very well, Finis. Nemo and I will stop the Nautilus. Hurry on ahead. Whoa, wait! Just a moment! What are you doing making decisions without consulting me? Just listen to me, Nemo. You desire the recognition of the power of science that you've created by your own hands, yes? Well, that is true, but... But, as Finis said himself, even now, Isaac will never give you that recognition. And not just Isaac, but likely the rest of the world as well. At this rate, you will be treated simply as an extension of Isaac. You'll be seen as little more than an eccentric loon. What? No! As Nemo gets gradually paler, Alistair puts his hand on Nemo's shoulder like an old friend. So you see, Nemo, you're more than Isaac's shadow, and now is your time to step out into the sun where your brilliance can truly shine. What could have brought this on? Without any hesitation, Alistair speaks those insincere words. But those words apparently have a tremendous effect on Nemo, and Nemo only. You're saying I should surpass the genius of Professor Isaac? For me to ascend to the highest apex of science? Is that what you're saying? Alistair winks at me. Despite my overwhelming bewilderment, I open my mouth to speak. Oh, that reminds me. You know, Victor Frankenstein and Impey Barbicane had some kind words as well. What an incredible battleship! Nemo's scientific power is off the charts! I have no choice but to accept defeat. Man, that Nemo, Professor Nemo, what I'd give to study science again under his guidance. The agony. Professor Nemo's caliber surpasses even Isaac's. Apollo, why doth thou burn this candle at both ends? I'm only paraphrasing, but something along those lines. Impey Barbicane! And Victor! Frankenstein! Fucking A, can Nemo shut the fuck up? It hurts. My dear closest friends. You too! Have you always thought so highly of me? Crying an endless flood of tears, Nemo falls to his knees on the spot. This is such a waste of fucking time. Spacey is so fucking dead. Just saying. Alistair smiles with a surprisingly soft expression. So, Nemo, you should know well now what it is you must do. Boo! How can I destroy the city of London where my dear closest friends live? My heart's mentor, Professor Isaac, please forgive me. The child is meant to surpass the parent. Nemo screams as he makes a fist and sticks his thumb up at me for some reason. Leave the Nautilus to me, the scientist of friendship, Nemo. Let us depart down the path of science walked alongside friends. I can do nothing but stare at his back in astonishment as he runs off. Bombastic to the end. Are you sure about this? He's changed so dramatically that even I'm starting to worry, despite being the one who riled him up. Amidst it all, Alistair points to the depths and laughs. Right then. There's no time for a leisurely chat now, is there? Really? Because we just had one. 20 minutes worth. I won't be assisting Isaac, but I don't plan on assisting you either. Press on the best you can. So Victor and Impey are still going to kill, and then he's going to still die by Herlock, and the immortal who transcends death. And the immortal who returns again after death. The battle of the immortals in the deepest part of the Nautilus nears its end. Gretel! His accursed arms ascend flying and both his legs are broken. Constricted by the steel tendrils, Hansel glares with resentment, but naturally, a glee can't fell an opponent. Countless bodies of Phineas strewed about tell of the fierce battle that transpired. So too does the gigantic main body of Isaac Beckford that had rolled off his pedestal. Isaac looks down on the collapsed Hansel, paying no mind to the cruel scene. Never did I think that all of these vessels could possibly be destroyed. Though I can produce unlimited vessels later, to think that you destroyed every spare but this one body. Really, that's good to know. Next, then, is to devour you. And then all that will remain is destroying that main body. Take your best shot. Gah! Now then, I finally captured you. But an immortal who can't be killed is a bit of a nuisance. Perhaps I'll freeze you in ice so that you can revive, or so that you can't revive, or sink you to the ocean's depths. Or maybe I'll vivisect you and unravel the secrets behind Idea's immortality. Isaac makes a small laugh and then suddenly turns toward the entrance. Footsteps draw nearer from afar. There stood a Phineas that Isaac was not aware of. Sister! A boy with the same appearance as the dolls that litter the floor, breathing heavily. But he was different from the others. He was filled with the emotion of life that a doll couldn't possibly have. So the discarded doll returns. Phineas's face twists bitterly at the moment he's called a doll. The reunion with his father that he had been waiting for all his time. Their first exchange was anything but one of love and affection. Like, all he has to do is pretend, right? What brings a broken doll here now of all times? Where's Sister? If you mean the Philosopher's Stone, I've already taken it inside me. That doll will soon disappear. I don't know why you came here, but don't do anything futile. Futile? Indeed, your emotions are an extraneous thing that wasn't in the original plan. If that isn't futile, then what is? You should have just remained an obedient doll without grasping to any particular individuality. Oh, damn it all. It's just as you said, Delacroix. I've been idealizing Father far too much. Isaac Beckford, I have something to ask you. I like how they're standing in the same posture. It's amazing. I was just like, what am I to you? Don't make me repeat myself endlessly. You're nothing but a pathetic doll that couldn't become my true son. On top of being thrown away, you've developed superfluous, oh my god, Spacey can read, superfluous emotions, which makes you a defective doll. I see. The more I hear, the more I'm glad I was separated from the main body. Thanks to that, the sadness of being thrown away by you, the despair, the fear of death, everything that you've thrown away, I was able to obtain. So without holding back, I can take sister back from you. As he kicks off the floor and darts forth, the hidden tentacles begin to close in. Jumping aside to dodge the steel wires that cut through the air, Finis pulls his trigger and fires a bullet, which pierces and destroys the tentacle that bound Hansel. Lend me a hand, ideas apostle. What? Do you understand what you're saying? We're here for Isaac and his creations. I don't care. I'll just be throwing my life away if I challenge him alone. Whatever it takes to save sister. If you want to kill me, save it for later, idea. It's Hansel. Tearing away the loosened bind, he quickly grabs and prepares the fork from the floor. Hansel Hexenhaus. And this is my sister Gretel. Did you come all this way to the ceiling of the heavens to save your sister? Reluctantly, yes. But while father and myself were fixated on the thought that I was a doll, only she, sister, saw me as a person. She tried to love me. So I have something to say to that foolish sister who tried to disappear after saying her piece. He loves us too. What a wonderful reason. Yes, right. You're right. Siblings should quarrel while they can, expressing their emotions to one another while they can. Hansel makes a small laugh and caresses his own little sister who can speak no longer. Weird. I love how fucking nutter butters he is with the fork. Let's go, Gretel. Let's give these children a hand, just for a bit. As Hansel steps to the front and cleaves the tentacles that rush forward, Finis thrusts himself into the opening Hansel makes and arrives below the sphere. Not to simply gaze and reach up to it like he did before, but to reach to something precious and take it back. Sister! Faint silhouette of sister could be seen inside the sphere. Reaching to it, Finis yells out, "Who said you get to sleep so leisurely after reaching your hand out to me? Aren't you supposed to teach me love? Sister!" I hear a voice. "Sister!" Muffled yell through the liquid. "Who said you get to sleep so leisurely after reaching your hand out to me?" It was, without a doubt, someone's voice. As I slowly open my eyes, my brother's face jumps into view. His face strained in a pained expression. He forces out his words as if he's about to lose his voice. His appearance... See? It's just like I said. "Are you supposed to teach me love, sister?" You were never a doll. As my consciousness was on the brink of fading away, I slowly reach my hand to him. At the same time, he reaches out his hand. But just before our hands can meet, I feel an intense resistance. It's like the hands of the dead that try to drag me down as I make to leave this place. Slowly, gradually, I'm pulled back into the swamp. Oh, we die. Sister! Damn it! At that moment, the arm that stretches out beside his is placed over his hand. And we burst from the sphere. We slam violently to the floor, coughing. Meanwhile, the boy who called himself an ideas apostle stares at us. You're both alive? Hansel? Why are you helping us? I'll explain in detail, but in any case, right now, I'm not your enemy. Right. What happened with father? I've already taken Isaac down. Hansel poisons his chin into a scene I almost wanted to look away from. Signs of destruction spread across the room. And right beside the armillary sphere, Jesus, the Finis bodies that had been pierced by the giant fork. And perhaps because of Hansel's attack, the sphere itself emitted sparks. The mysterious liquid that enveloped me spilled out to the surroundings, making a huge puddle. Idea's objective is the prevention of Code Realize. That's why originally we were planning to kill the both of you who are the keys to the plan. But now that Isaac is dead, the result is the same, so let's call it even. Besides, it would seem you're no longer a monster, right? Hansel's finger suddenly stretches toward me and pokes my cheek. That's adorable. He's like, poke. Yeah, no, you're fine. But there was neither a grotesque feeling of melting flesh, nor its harsh sound. Instead, my cheek just returned a soft bounce. And my hair color, it's back. Not only that, but I realized that every bit of the agonizing pain in my chest had vanished. Probably due to the Philosopher's Stone's transformation. Most of the toxin was absorbed by the sphere, by Isaac. Does that mean... I can't say for sure yet, but it should mean that your body no longer has the poison that it had before. I couldn't help but stare intently at my own hands. Flesh cursed never to touch anyone. But now... Finis, cautiously reaching my hand over, he returns a surprised, bitter laugh. Finis squeezed my hand with a smile and begins to take off my glove when... I'm suddenly pulled away with a tremendous force. Now you've done it, you damn dolls! How? I wouldn't have imagined that all the terminals would be destroyed, and even the main body damaged. It may be a barely functioning defect that I've discarded once already, but even so, it's better than nothing. Stop! You threw me away! Don't try to take me back now, Isaac! Finis's body sways slowly, his eyes flickering from blue to green. Oh, that's what's gonna happen, huh? So like in the good path, we'll be able to save him, but in the normal path, we're gonna have to kill him. Our love for him and our caring for him, with all the right answers in the good path, would be able to save him, but he's not gonna be able to fight. Oh. What in the world is happening? As I finally grasp the situation, a chill rushes down my spine. Finis! You'd do well to stand back. Depending on the situation, we may have to take him out. I stare at Finis suffering before Hansel as he prepares his fork. Get out of my way, Hansel! I push him aside and squeeze Finis's hand. Please, Finis! My voice! Your emotions! Never lose sight of them! Meanwhile, on the other end... Nemo's hand dances along the console to the fierce sound of his teeth grinding. While the conflict continues between Isaac and Finis, we might actually have a whole nother part, because I highly doubt we're going to be able to get, like, holy shit. Like, the first chapters go so fast, and then the ending is, like, 6 hours long. Like, wow. Nemo and Alistair in the engine room, desperately struggling for the Nautilus to make a crash landing. You know what it is, though? Like, I shouldn't complain, like, oh my god, the ending takes forever. It's really, like, they tie up every loose end. Like, otherwise they'd end it and you'd be like, well, what happened to everybody else? And then you go down the good path and you'd be like, yeah, we saved Finis! But what happened to everybody else? Is everything alright, Nemo? There hasn't been any change in altitude for a while now. You see, the Nautilus is no longer under my control, but the Professor's. I'm trying to regain control, but no surprise knowing Professor Isaac. He isn't making this an easy task. I can't do his voice anymore. Is there no other way? If we simply wanted to drop to the surface, it's not impossible. However, in such an event, London will surely be destroyed, and we will surely die. Ergo, I'm considering dropping it in the ocean or equivalent body of water that could catch this huge mass, but curses to lose the fruit of my science by crashing is truly a waste. So we must at least make it to the ocean somehow. Nemo tilts his head to the side as his pocket suddenly emits a ringing sound. He reaches in to find a small square device. Indeed, it's the device that was taken from Spacey. Let's see here. I finally got through. I can't do his voice after Nemo. I was like, I finally got through. Spacey, are you alright? We're currently trying to latch onto the Nautilus in an airship. We're gonna climb aboard, so tell us your situation. Seriously, did you not think that maybe the thing got stolen from her and you shouldn't reveal your plan because you never know who's listening? Jesus! Victor! Victor! I love you, but don't be stupid. Victor, Jesus. Oh! That voice! Can it be my dear friend? Huh? Couldn't be Nemo. Why are you the one answering? Well, now, quite an interesting situation we have here. Give it to me, Nemo. I'll explain to them. I see. Sorry. Nemo's voice hurts. I see. Understood, Alistair. So you're planning to crash land the Nautilus? Yes, though we have been struggling to do so. The odds are against us at this point. A silence falls over both sides of the transmitter. The only one to break the suffocating silence is Impey. There's plenty I want to say to you, but I'll let you have it later, so listen, Nemo. There's another way to do this. What are you scheming, Impey? It's simple. If bringing this thing down to the surface will cause a catastrophe, we'll just have to do the opposite. We'll make the gravity alleviator go haywire and drop the Nautilus into the sky. So you guys get the fuck out of there. That's all I'm saying. Darkness wavers before his eyes, as if to rip that asunder. How could this happen? A violent stream of anger and regret pours in. Ah! The scream shook the air. His despair became angrier toward the cruel world, which became his cry towards his powerlessness. This is an incident of his past. With his beloved family unfairly torn from him by a harsh reality, the scientist Isaac became immersed in his research. All that's left for me is the power of science. All that I have to wield is the power of science. No one need understand me anymore. I'm content being alone. I'll fight all by myself. You know, I don't need his sob story. I'm serious. He's a dick. I don't care. No, it's like, oh, that's sad you lost your family. But look what you did. You're an asshole. I don't want to feel sorry for you. No, we don't need this. I don't need like a nice, heartwarming, warm, like, oh, look at this makes him a nice, rounded character. No. I appreciate that the game does that, though. Like, makes him a little, like, a well-rounded character. Not just, like, a villain with nothing. But still. No! Don't make me feel for this asshole. In order to bring back his family, he aimed for the completion of one particular project. Artificial life forms. The production of homunculi. But no matter how many attempts, the result was always failure. Only hideous lumps of flesh that couldn't even be considered animal, much less human. Even with his genius in research, the science that Isaac relied upon had not yet advanced far enough to fulfill his wish. Even so, he performed his research and experiments repeatedly as if possessed. Years pass. As if finally reaching the ends of a swamp, he treaded through amid his suffering and failures. One of his children awakens. Finis? At last, this day has come. The day when I'm able to exchange words with you once more. Oh, please awaken, dear, dear beloved child. Finis. Finis slowly opens his eyes. Constructed from collected biological data, he was different from his sister, who contained some of the original cells. Regardless, his appearance was identical to the original son, and that was enough to convince Isaac of his resurrection. But see what I mean? Like, that's like Isaac the 22-year-old, not Isaac the, like, 16-year-old, is all I'm saying. Like, Isaac, the Finis. Like, look at his face. He's just too adult. I mean, I just don't see, like, and yet when he comes out, like, of the tank and he's walking around, you're like, but you look like 15. Not even. You look like 10. Like, but he's obviously not, like, even in the anime, everything, he's supposed to be, like, older. He has the older, he looks like 16, 17, like, I'm assuming the MC is supposed to be, but, like, this is, like, 20-something-year-old Finis is all I'm saying. Like, also, seriously, do those buns hold up all that hair? Because that's a lot of hair in those buns. Like, no wonder why he's bitchy. Like, he's like, oh, these buns are heavy. He's got, like, a headache. Regardless, his appearance was identical to the original son, and that was enough to convince Isaac of his resurrection. All of the original's knowledge was fed directly into this Finis's brain. As such, Isaac expected to be called father once again, a bond instantly formed. But Finis shows little emotion. Who are you? Afterward, no matter how hard Finis tried to act like the original, Isaac just couldn't genuinely love him. Regardless, he desperately taught him, imparted his knowledge. He talked about the times when Finis was still alive, the family he lived with, all the while making Finis feel like further away. Finis was smart. He would absorb knowledge and eventually get closer to the real thing. But the more he began to resemble him. This is not my son. The thought that Isaac had tried to keep suppressed began to erode his mental state. Every time he smiled insincerely at Finis, he felt an indescribable fear that gradually wore away at his heart. This is some sort of mistake. It should have been perfect. One more attempt. Just one more. Who are you? Over and over again, Isaac recreated Finis. Who are you? But every time he did so, as if to torment Isaac's heart, their first words were always the same. Who are you? It's too much to bear. I can't. This child. I can't love this child anymore. I wanted so badly to love him, but I can't. Even if he takes on the exact same appearance, he can never become the original. In the midst of his directionless days, Isaac arrives at a major turning point. A chance encounter with the Zicterium created by a young genius of the Royal Society. If I can sublimate this into the Philosopher's Stone, then perhaps I can make possible what has been impossible. If the Zicterium research progressed and the horologium that produces infinite energy is completed, it could be described as a heart that never stopped beating. However, it was not yet complete. In order to metamorphosize the horologium into the Philosopher's Stone, he needed a biocatalyst with a human body. At first he uses Finis, but the burden of the horologium utterly eradicated a body that was constructed thoughtlessly. In that case, he implanted the horologium into the homunculus created from his daughter's cells. That one did not melt or crumble. Soon after implanting it, the homunculus began to disfigure, leaving behind a hideous, lifeless husk. It was days on end of human transmutations. Build, then kill. Construct, then kill. Create, then kill. But in the end, there was only one. A beautiful girl with miraculous growth who held the horologium in her chest. Isaac rejoiced. My daughter, created from my daughter's cells. He unconditionally whispered his love. Her eternally beating heart would grant her heightened physical abilities, as well as a lifespan far beyond humans. But as if to pay a price for it, her body is engulfed in a toxin that melts anything. Her appearance, as well as genetic information, is the same. Genes, the agent containing the genetic code of an organism. In this game's era, it is yet to be fully discovered. This is, without a doubt, my daughter. However, Isaac is unable to even embrace her. Not only him, but nobody can. So it's yet another imitation. It was a subdued disappointment. I won't be able to give her my love either, no doubt. I wouldn't be able to love her even if I wanted to. Even if she learns of love, she'll lose it with her first touch. The more she learns of love, the more she will be made to suffer. And I should be the one who will whisper those words to her. You must never know love. You must live in isolation. The more you learn of love, the more you will be made to suffer. Because you are a monster. A monster? Fate like a curse, all because of the forbidden stone that was her heart. It's still too early to release her. The progress of science, my own remaining time here, these things are simply insufficient. His body overworked from research for many years, Isaac was well aware that his own life was drawing to a close. My thoughts, my mind, my knowledge, I will preserve it all for eternity. I want to reunite with my family. I want to relive those days when I was filled with joy. And thus, I'll restore my family. Or, you know what, when you die, you'll get to be with your family. So maybe you should have just not done this, and then you would have died happily and been with your family. I'm just saying. I'll be the progenitor of a world in which I will never lose them again. A world in which I'm able to pour my love into the children I could not love. I won't allow them to be taken from me unjustly. I'll never leave their side. I will even rise and revolt against God, twisting the natural laws of this world with the power of science. I will fulfill my own ideals with the power of science. That is my code realize. Father's thoughts, his past, his emotions, they all rushed through my heart at once. What's the use? Now that I know about Father's past, the subtle hesitation that sprouted inside of me is beginning to spread. My consciousness still has the upper hand. But Father's consciousness has undoubtedly taken root inside my heart. In a day, 2 days, perhaps a week, sooner or later, Father's thoughts will revive, and I'll once again carry out code realized by sacrificing sister. Then I'll... Finis, don't lose yourself. Please just... Finis? Or it can't be... Unfortunately for you, I win. The corners of his lips bend. Isaac Beckford, he took over his consciousness. No, that can't be. Because my little brother Finis, he's... If you mean the doll, then I've erased his consciousness permanently. He'll never awaken again. My chest aches with every word I force out. I'm sorry, sister. You were always telling me not to treat myself like a doll, and now listen to me. It can't be. Finis. He's pretending so that he'll die. Oh, Finis. What is there to be sad about? What is a single doll out of unlimited? If it's ever needed again, I'll create new ones. I can even make one with the personality of your choice. Don't you dare treat my brother like a doll any longer! Isaac Beckford, I will never forgive you! Along with sister's anger-filled words, Hansel steps forward. Are you all right with this? I answer on the inside on behalf of sister who won't. Yes, it's all right. If she realizes that I still have my consciousness, this foolish sister of mine will likely try to save me at all costs, even if she knew the dire consequences for the world. And so, this is quite all right. Let's finish this, Isaac. Hansel lifts his fork up. Sister watches without stopping him. It's rather saddening that the final expression I'll get to see on sister's face is one filled with anger and sadness. Farewell, my sister. Damn. He sacrificed himself. Aww. Upon learning that the Nautilus would be exiled to the sky by the hands of Nemo and the others, I make a choice not to return to the surface. It would feel so lonely for Finis and Father to disappear into the sky after all. I wonder if I'd be laughed at if I said that out loud. But when I put my thoughts into words, Hansel didn't discourage me. It's a painful thing for a family to separate. We're going back to the surface, but you should do whatever feels right to you. And then she just floats off to the sky and dies too? The fuck, Spacey? I see Hansel off as he leaves with a sorrowful smile. I wander about inside the steel headstone now devoid of life. And then I arrive in Finis's production room. Lines of incomplete Finises that can't yet be considered people. I stop before the unfinished figures that float in their culture tanks. Not possessing as much knowledge as Father, I don't know the controls for the apparatus. But even so, I mobilize what little knowledge I have and operate the console. With the armillary sphere destroyed and their memories erased, there's no telling what will happen to these unborn Finises. But as I continue to wait in silence, Finis opens his eyes and quietly speaks. Who are you? I'm Spacey, your sister. My sister. Yes, that's right. My dear little brother Finis. That is creepy as fuck, girl. I gently embrace him. I don't know what will happen to the Nautilus beyond this point, but if the ship were to arrive somewhere, let's live together, Finis. You and me. The two of us forever. This crazy talk. I'll love him in Father's stead, the man who ended up on the wrong path. Because the one thing I can offer him is my love. That's some crazy fucking bullshit. That is some crazy fucking bullshit. Like him you're like, oh, wait, we decided to stay in the fuck. That's some crazy motherfucking bullshit. Is this where we were? I think so. Where we can choose the Finis. I don't have any last words, though. Finis. My voice calls my little brother's name, fades, breaks off, and disperses into the air. I was simply in anguish. At all the Finises that followed Father's orders without ever being loved. And at how I could never hold their hands as their big sister. This one's going to go a little over, obviously. I sink into silence, unable to say another word. He closes his eyes, perhaps sharing information between the other Finises, and slowly twists the corners of his lips. Okay. I don't know how long the other ending, so this is all going to be, like, obviously the same, but... This is a long-ass episode. All the same, all the same. That's like 30 CGs right there, because he just like looks like in 15 different directions. So in this one, we'll live happily ever after with Finis. La 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 la. I know. I honestly cannot believe that the end of The Good Path was like a fucking hour in itself. Like, holy shit. And the normal, I mean, just like, even just this ending from the last choice on was like an hour worth of fucking shit. And it'll be an hour point by the time we... Oh, what kinds of emotions must be going through Finis's mind right now? Father. Finis squeezes his eyes closed through clenched teeth, trying to ward off Father's control. I'm filled with frustration. Frustration at myself for being powerless to help my brother while he suffers. Finis! Spacey, was it? You should stay close to you. Oh, Spacey, was it? You should stay close to him. You may think you're powerless, but your warmth alone will become his strength. I gently grip Finis's hand with mine that I'm finally free of its poison. That's finally free of its poison. Looking on with a satisfied expression, Hansel stands and takes his fork, walking to the sphere that rolled to the floor. Hansel... We're going to finish off Isaac's main body. If it remains, the situation will only repeat itself. But... Wait. Finis slowly opens his jade-colored eyes. Finis, are you... all right? He smiles and nods to me, standing despite a stagger, and speaks out loud in a dignified manner. Allow me to do it. Please, let me... But Finis, that may be Father's main body, but it's also your... It's quite all right. I have no need for things like backups. People only have one life to live. They aren't expendable, nor do they get second chances. You taught me that. You do get second chances. As I help him to the armillary sphere once more, he looks to the object that is Finis, but also Isaac. He quietly stares at the gun in his hand. I had a dream about Father. A dream. A dream in which he abandoned his hope for the world that took his family, creating us to regain his happiness, in which he tried desperately to love us but couldn't. A dream of a deeply sorrowful man. I had that dream too, while I was inside the sphere. A dream, but more than a dream. We witnessed Father's memories and emotions when our minds melded with his. Right, Father didn't always consider us dolls. He sincerely tried to love both Finis and me. Code realize. Eternal war on a worldwide scale. The advancement of science. At the root of his mad plan that involved the entire world was solely his desire to regain his lost love. But... Aw. But I'm sorry, Father. We can't obey you. Finis points his gun without hesitation. Perhaps knowing where he needs to shoot, he directs his aim at the small pulsations in the center of the sphere. I gently place my hand over his. If he has to bear this sin, then let us both bear it together. We're very similar, Father and I. We both had one particular goal, believing that there would be happiness at the end. But Father was wrong. Because he yearned for his lost past. Because he grasped for the happiness he left there. He denied the present. To Father, there was only ever the past and the future. Indeed. And so, at last, the end of a long yet brief time. Farewell, our Father. Good night, Father. It was far less dramatic than I had imagined. The end of a mad scientist who laid waste to London and came within inches of igniting eternal world war. No huge explosions, no fanfare. I was like, I clicked it. What happened? Only the sound of a gunshot and its dying echo. Yes, it was almost like a quiet ending that brought with it a peaceful rest. Is it over? It is. I can feel the remnants of Father within me starting to disappear. Now it really is over. I hate to disturb this sentimental moment, but there's no time to waste sitting around. We must get out of here. As if in response to Hansel, the Nautilus emits a creak that sounds like a scream. And at the same time, testing, testing! Can you hear me, Phineas? It is I, the genius scientist, Nemo! Fuck, you didn't talk in the last part. A bombastic voice reverberates from the ship's broadcast. At present, we are commencing the Nautilus's rise in altitude, courtesy of yours truly and my dear friend. I recommend making haste to the B3 exterior hatch. Lupin and the rest should be waiting just outside. We're about to evacuate as well. When you discover what lay at the ends of solitude, please let me know. If it's what it appears to be, let us hurry. It is what it appears to be, okay. Following after the two who started to run, I turned back to look at the sphere one last time. We're not the originals, but I could tell. He was probably a sincere kind person, this man known as Isaac Beckford. And his children, Spacey and Phineas, who also loved their father. Farewell, father. As I turn my back and walk away, everything behind me begins to crumble. It's as if father, who was trapped in an endless nightmare, was finally able to rest in peace. I'm home, Rebecca! Welcome back, dear. Didn't I tell you to keep your voice down when the children are asleep? Right, sorry. It's just, I'm so glad to be back, even a second sooner. And what might that pile of luggage be? Oh, this? I thought the children would have fun with them. These are coloring books, and these are blocks, and this... Hold your horses. They were only just born. Here, set those aside and pat their little heads. Our sweet children. How adorable. Right. Sleeping faces are positively angelic. But it's a bit of a shame that I only ever get to see them when they're crying or sleeping. That's because you're always running to and fro. But your research has helped countless people. Everyone's been so kind to me by extension. Thank you, Isaac. You're gonna make me blush. I want to thank you too, Rebecca, for watching over the place where I belong. Oh, that's right. Did you name them yet? Oh, you're all right with me naming them myself? Didn't we decide to name them together? Good point. Well, then let's give them the names that we decided on during our last discussion. Right, that would be best. The big sister, Spacey. The little brother, Phineas. Yes, beautiful names. A small miracle considering they were your suggestions. Haha, thanks. All right, you two. We're a family of 4 from now on. We're going to live happily together. Forever after. Until the day you both become adults and leave the nest. I love you, Spacey. Phineas. I love you. Spacey! Phineas. Because, Spacey's in all caps. That's sad. But kind of cute. Aww. Now we get to watch the sad end. He looks so sulky. Aw, poor Phineas. Seems like... Was this the same one that was at the end of, Sholmes' route? Because it's so sad. It really is. It is. It's the same one. It's like so... You're like, oh, just... It's like so mellow, it just feels sad. Doesn't it though? I mean, like, it could be like the happiest song ever. There's just something about the music that just feels so mellow and sad, and you're like, come on, guys. Oh. Don't worry, we get an after scene. And then we gotta look at all our pictures. Guys. A gentle bird song tickles my ears. The sunlight that passes through the trees dyes my clothing with speckles. As the beautiful afternoon sunlight shines down, I sit at the edge of the mansion and look through the letter that just arrived. Everyone seems to be doing well. After the Nautilus disappeared into the distant skies along with Father's plans, Phineas and I left London while the rebuilding efforts began and returned to Wales. I have many memories of this place, both good and bad. The place where I stayed all alone as I held my knees. This place that twisted Isaac's fate. This place where the happiness of 4 family members undeniably existed. And yet we came back, despite the fact that the villagers want to murder us. Okay. And the place is pretty much a ruins. So are we, like, cleaning up, or are we literally just living in, like... I mean, even the Beast's castle in Beauty and the Beast was in better shape, is all I'm saying. My mind wandering, I turned over the letter where updates on everyone were written. After the incident ended and things settled, Lupin apparently headed to Paris. He seemed to have someone to report to about the plan he was able to prevent after so many years of effort. He said that he'll consider returning to London once he delivers his report. Delhi began a journey with the goal of protecting his surviving vampire brethren. Curiously, Van Helsing, the one who was meant to be the target of his vengeance, accompanied him. I wonder what happened between those two. At any rate, if Delhi found a better sense of purpose than revenge, then I couldn't be happier for him. Nemo was arrested as the architect of the Nautilus and currently awaits trial in the dungeon below the palace. But because London avoided catastrophe thanks to his abandoning the Nautilus, his punishment will likely be lighter. But he caused a lot of damage. He is furious about not being able to conduct experiments, but Impey visits him daily, so he doesn't seem too lonely. Good old Impey. On the other hand, I haven't heard from Alistair at all since that day. Rumor has it that he's plotting something in London. Out of everyone, he's got to be the one that I understand the least. It's okay, Sholmes. Saint Germain and Hansel come by this mansion every now and then as part of their idea monitoring duty. Code Realize was prevented, so they don't have any reasons to target us directly, but they can't ignore potential threats. Or that's the official reason, anyway. Honestly, I just wanted to see to your face, Saint Germain would say as always. Aww. Victor is running a clinic in London's lower town for the poor. Victor also took in Cece, saying that he's the only one settled in one place, joking that Cece would be the clinic's mascot. We make sure to drop by whenever we visit London and get checkups while we're at it. According to Victor, the horologium has apparently ceased its activity. The toxins were originally a byproduct from the process of the horologium's transition to the Philosopher's Stone. Therefore, now that the transition is halted, short of some external stimulus, it should be stable. Speaking of which, about Phineas, although his body differs somewhat from that of a person's, there haven't been any particular issues. Gone are his backups and memory sharing now that the main body is destroyed, but he doesn't need any of those things, because the Phineas of the present is living life as a human being. Phew. I let out a satisfied sigh, close my eyes, and whisper, everyone is treading their own paths. The memories of the time I spent in London wash over me. A powerful urge to see my friends again. I stand up, letter in hand. Right then, I'd say I'm long overdue for a visit to London. Long overdue? You were just there 2 weeks ago. If you have time to fantasize about another trip to London, at least help me fix this window. Criminy. Coming out with an exasperated expression was none other than the new owner of this mansion and my little brother, Phineas. I couldn't help but laugh as he begins to grumble complaints. We're living here now, so little by little we've begun repairing this mansion that's clearly less than habitable. Fixing the broken windows where the wind blows through, repairing the leaky roof, cleaning up all the dust and cobwebs. Thanks to the huge size of the mansion, it's not a job that can be completed in a single day. But the two of us quarreling as we clean the rooms bit by bit is fun, and it feels like we're making brand new memories. Ha, that's right, Phineas. What do you think about going to London and gathering together Lupin and the others to help fix the house? No, absolutely not. Out of the question. Lupin, Impey, Nemo. Just imagine what would happen if the likes of them helped. Unless you want the mansion to suddenly rocket skyward. A fine point. But we're short-handed with just the two of us. And wouldn't it be so much more fun and lively with a bit of help? What are you implying? Are you saying it's not fun with just you and me? Phineas makes a pouty face and looks away as if sulking. If you want to go see Lupin and the rest so badly, be my guest. I'll be right here scrubbing stubborn mold stains. Alone. Come on, don't be like that, Phineas. I make a small laugh and reach my hand over to him. To my precious one and only little brother. Oh, this is gonna be so cute. She's like hugging him. Oh, guys. And she can touch him. Oh, that's so fucking cute. It is like when they have her eyes closed, it's like she doesn't have the derpy, weird, giant, like, eye. Like sometimes it's like too big. Simmer the eyes a little bit, just a little bit. But like, this is gorgeous. I love this. What? Of course it's fun. It's time that I get to spend together with family. Time that I hold dear and cherish more than anything else. I smile and gently hug Finnis. His silky silver hair shines brightly as if to reflect the sun's rays. But just the two of us is fine. I want you to learn more of love. Just like how Lupin took me away and showed me all kinds of worlds I'd never known. I want to show you the world. I want to teach you of so much love. I want you to be able to laugh with Lupin and the others, with so many others. And then I'm sure you'll be happier than ever before. We are no longer dolls. We found love and became human. I can feel the warmth from our cheeks that touched. The deadly poison within me that harms and melts all I touch is no more. Smiling as the thought fills me with happiness, Finnis shrugs his shoulders along with a bitter laugh. Fine, have it your way. If you're going to London, I'll come with you. After all, it's my duty as your brother to exterminate any vermin that cross your path. I'm counting on you. To laugh together would be so delightful. To spend time together would be so delightful. Sister... What is it? I'm only going to say this once. Never, ever ask me to repeat it. Sure. Thank you for loving me. That's so cute. Guys. Aww. Sorry, one more time? I couldn't hear you. What? Never mind. I can't stand you, sister. Oh, come on, wait a second. Finnis! Finnis! Siblings born into this world from unique circumstances. That's how we learned of love and became human. And will continue to live on as humans. Alongside my many dear friends, and hand in hand with my precious, irreplaceable little brother. I'm actually glad that he survived now, because like, oh, he learned and he's... And so this is great, because this is technically where the third game picks up. So this is a perfect place. We're not done with the game. So while we're here, we have to go into Deli's room, which we'll do in the next part, and that will be the things. But we'll look at the CGs, and we'll end this part. So we got all Lupin CGs. Lupin's gang. 26 of them here. Okay. So that was that one they keep showing a lot. So let's see if they have... Nope, there's no difference in that one. Yeah. The shock. Aw. I wish it would just change and not close. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that. I wish it wouldn't, like... Hansel. Hansel. Every time I read that, that's all I can think of is fucking Zoolander. Oh, of course. Hansel. Aw. Aw. This one there's like 40 of them. There's literally, that's like at least six of them. That's like amazing. And then the babies. Look at the little babies. But of course, the best one. I like this part, this one, with their eyes open a little bit, so, boop, yeah. But anyway, so that is the end of Finnis's route. It's pretty much the end of the game if you think about it. We do have Deli's room to explore, so we will be doing that in the next part. So I don't know how long that is, so we'll do that until the end. But when that's over, this is the end. I mean, wow. It's been like, how long have we been playing this game? Where's my thing? This has been, I know we've had 2 of these games, but it's, guys, it's almost bittersweet. Like this is, like the Deli's room thing is like just like a little bonus thing, but I feel like we have literally been playing this. Oh my god, we've been playing this game since May? Oh my god, we've been playing this game since April, guys. We started Code Realize on April 23rd. This has been 4 months in the making. Yeah, 4 months in the making. Almost. I mean, it'll finish before 4 months, but wow. Yeah. And the thing is of course, Hakuoki's going to take even longer. I'm not even lying, because that's what's coming next. We'll talk more about that when we get at the end of the Deli's room thing, but that's like 80 hours of gameplay. So, supposedly, and we take longer, so that's going to take 3 months to play just the first game. It's going to take us 6 months to probably play both of those games. I'm not even kidding. We're going to be here fucking forever. But that would give us time because, so it'll take us into next year. Oh my god. Oh my god. 6 fucking months playing that game. Holy shit. It's been 4 months playing this and it doesn't seem like it, does it? Wow, time goes fast. Holy shit. Oh my god. But yeah, anyway. I'm going to wrap this part up here. We will come back in the next part and we'll do Deli's room and we'll see how long that takes. But we'll see that's it. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.